As you can see before in the last video, this guy, I almost defeated him last time. This time I've re-upped my, changed my equipment on my blades, my augment shards, so now I can kind of, hopefully I can beat him this time. Actually, I'll definitely beat him this time, because I recorded this and I'm doing the voiceover after the fact because it's easier that way. So, yeah, basically this time I'll get 8 elemental orbs around him and then knock him out. I'm not going to cut too much because I'm going to talk about a second topic while I go over the footage of me fighting this incredibly tough enemy with just my skills, my sweet, sweet skills. So, here we go. I think I'm gonna wipe out once and then come back and then beat him. So here we go. After the cut. Okay then, so here we go. Star Ocean is one of my favorite franchises. The first game was on the SNES. It was then ported over to the PlayStation because it came out towards the end of the SNES's life cycle in Japan. It never came to America. And it was then ported over to the PlayStation, and I mean, it's one of those games that has a really great premise, but it's never been utilized, how can I put this, well. The premise has never been utilized well. So, without much ado, here's my idea for the premise. Here's my idea to basically revitalize Star Ocean, if you will. So, before I get into the revitalization effort, I guess I should tell you what the premise is. The premise of Star Ocean is that, there's this interstellar civilization with different races and stuff, and there's kind of like a federation, and they crash on this planet because they're trying to investigate, in the first Star Ocean, they're trying to investigate, the crew of this federation are trying to investigate who poisoned this entire civilization on this primitive planet. Like, who would do such a thing? And essentially, when they go down on the planet to investigate, go undercover, they discover that their high-tech weapons don't work, so they have to use the weapons of the people on the planet, which are, swords and bow and arrows, shit like that. And generally speaking, even though Star Ocean has changed, the setting has changed in different subsequent games, overall it still pretty much devolves down into your standard JRPG tropes, except with a slight, a kind of a nod and a wink that, this is, these are more advanced people who are forced to use kind of shitty weapons. It's one of those things that kind of brings down Star Ocean for me a little bit, because it's like, it doesn't make sense that, a phaser wouldn't be a more effective weapon than a normal sword. I mean, Star Trek taught us that, How many times has Worf gotten his ass kicked trying all that, I have a bat'leth, man, sit your ass down, Like Worf only got to be badass with his bat'leth once, and that's when his wife got killed. K-Lord. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it kind of, the premise kind of holds it back because it devolves into the typical JRPG tropes. Yeah, we fight using swords. It's like, man, give me a gun. Fuck that. I don't want, look, that's a fire-breathing dragon. Give me this cannon. There you go. It kind of brings it down a little bit, in my opinion. But there's other things that Star Ocean has had, because basically it's set in a universe where there's high-tech technology. So there's like the invention aspect and resource gathering and a lot of different skills. And but I mean, most of these are just kind of like, how can I put this? They're just fanciful reskins of typical JRPG tropes. So instead of magic, you have symbology, and if you wanna make, instead of healing, you have herbology, and You know, like, it's just, it kind of, I mean, it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. So, in my opinion, the way that I think that Star Ocean could really be brought back to prominence is to embrace the sci-fi aspect of it. Basically, kind of like how Phantasy Star kind of tried to do with later iterations. Just embrace the fact that this is a high-tech civilization where people have guns. Make a JRPG that, instead of like always, make it seem odd that there's a character who uses a sword in a universe where people have guns and cannons and spaceships and, you know, laser swords. Like, why are you using a sword, dude? That dude over there has a lightsaber. I mean, basically it's a lightsaber. So, I mean, that's the type of stuff that I think they should do in a future Star Ocean. They can keep the whole invention and exploration. Maybe add a mechanic where you have to actually go to other planets, Skies of Arcadia style, except you're in a spaceship. You actually get to navigate your spaceship and explore. I think that would be a really good Star Ocean game, in my humble opinion. Leave your comments in the description field about how you feel about it. And also, this Sunday, the BS Busters will focus primarily on baseless speculation on what we think would be a good Star Ocean game. And in the same Star theme, we're also going to talk about what would make a good Knights of the Old Republic game. So we're going to do baseless speculation on both of those. So without much ado, I'm going to cut through this, maybe show you when I get my ass kicked and I die and come back and fight again after the cut. So basically, here's where I messed up, and I tried to go into blade combo, overdrive combo, elemental orb combo, and I messed up and went too soon, used the wrong abilities, and now these dudes are going to wipe me out. And there we go. So here's where I come back and you know, try my damnedest to beat this guy this time using my mad skills. So basically, here's what's going on this weekend. We have the Sci-Fi Power Hour, which, you know, last time we talked about some general suggestions about what type of, if you're into science fiction or fantasy. I suggested a couple of book series and such, but this next one we're going to be talking about what films we're looking forward to. And I mean, obviously, you know, we'll talk about Black Panther and Black Lightning, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to cut and show you how I defeated this guy, and then we'll get to the end of the video. So at this point, I basically have, you know, hit this dude. I've got quite a few orbs on him. Then I'm going to go into my overdrive, which is going to basically do a lot of damage. Basically, you want to get as many orbs on an enemy as humanly possible. If you can get all 8 elements, that's even better, which ups the damage percentage that your final ultimate combo does, which in turn means, you know, you defeat the enemy. So the more orbs you have, the more damage you do. Also, it seals the abilities of your enemy, making it so that they can't just, you know, hit you over and over and over again with their most powerful attacks, stuff like that. So at this point, I'm about to finish this dude off with my ultimate attack. So enjoy the rest of the video, me fighting Pernicious Bimf, who actually was tougher than the other guy because this guy has a really high defense. And like I said, it's really hard to get blade combos on him. So there you go. The next What's coming up this week is Saturday we have the Sci-Fi Power Hour where we will be talking about upcoming sci-fi and fantasy films we're looking forward to. Maybe give our ideas on what we think DC should be doing. And Sunday we have BS Busters. Hopefully later on this week there will be a Gamers at Large, OGAL from Dr. Feelgood, so look forward to that. And enjoy!